All right, so welcome to the fifth episode of the Behind the Fleet podcast. This is
Hey,
a nation podcast where we're bringing in all the celebrities, all the industry tastemakers to sit down with It's Just Miss Wells and have an unfiltered conversation.
let's
So,
do it.
tonight I've got a really special guest, Scotty Atl. You guys know him. I'm gonna throw it over, but I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up? I'm Scotty Atl from the east side of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm an artist. I also make grills. I own Grills by Scotty. This is my fifth year in business. I got a store here in Atlanta and a store in LA. And I'm also an actor. I played in a few movies. It's coming out this year, and I currently play on Country Wayne skits.
Okay, so you are busy, busy, busy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. You feel me?
You gotta have your
Yeah,
hands in a whole bunch of
got to
stuff.
get to it.
Yes, yes.
Got to do
Like,
that.
go ahead and say it again.
I said you got to do that.
You do. You got to be versatile out here in this industry. If you're staying in one lane trying to make a good living and life for yourself off one source of income, you're doing it all wrong. So I commend you for being out here with your hands in a whole bunch of different things,
Facts.
making sure that you keep the money flowing in.
No doubt. Got
So,
to do that.
like, one of the things that I like to do with this platform is I like to take it back and tell the story of how
Okay.
you ended up where you are right now. So, let's start with finding out like what musical inspirations did you have coming up that made you interested in music?
Um, Coming up, I was interested in Outkast, UGK, 8 Ball, MJG. Those are like some of my favorites coming up. Tupac. My mom used to play Tupac a lot in the car. Picture
Okay.
me rolling. You know what I'm saying? Picture me rolling in my 500 Benz. I got no love for these niggas. Ain't no need to be friends. Hey, my mom used to play that. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Okay, so was there anybody in your family that had like a musical background as well, or was it like you say your mom exposing you to the different hot tracks that was out at that time?
Nah, nobody in my family did music. I started out just liking to write, you know. I found interest in school, writing, English, writing papers, reading books, you know, being a storyteller. And then I just kind of fell into it. My homeboy King J introduced me to the music. I played basketball, and I would go to his crib after basketball practice, and his mom would cook shrimp, you know, and he was interested in doing the music, so he got me into doing it. And that's
Okay.
how we kind of got started. We went to this dude named 8 Ball studio on by South Lake Mall. We made one song and took it to school. People liked it a lot. And from there, we just kind of just kept going, you know, making more music, making CDs at that time, giving them away, selling them for $1, you know, just getting the word out.
So talk about your first album. Like,
Hmm.
what did it sound like? What was your favorite track on it?
My first album with my boy King J was called SCC, South City Click.
Okay.
Um, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like people on the east side knew about it that was tapped in. This was like before the internet though. You know what I'm saying? I was
Gotcha.
like a little kid, so people knew about it though. South City Click, SCC. You know, we later became 2339 Underground Boys, but the albums was dope. You know, King J was producing a lot at that time. Later, I became a producer too. He left
Okay.
his equipment with me, and he went to the Navy. And so I taught myself how to produce. I started making beats and rapping. And then I basically taught all my homeboys in the neighborhood how to rap, you know, so we can form our own rap group and have our own label. And we did.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not gonna cap. Before we came on here, I've been digging on the internet, listening to all your tracks, doing a little
Mm,
research because I wanted to make
mm.
sure I knew something before I came in here and had this conversation with you.
Okay.
And the one thing that I noticed is that collaboration has always been something that you've been big on, especially just kind of hearing how you came into the industry.
Hmm.
So, can you talk just a little bit about why that's so important to you and how that's been beneficial to your career?
Yeah, for sure. One of my first early EPs I did is called On the Road to Spaghetti Junction. This is like early on my early like 2014, maybe even before that. But I did a collaboration with Scion, which is a car company. We pressed up records. I gave them to the DJs, real records. I just always understood the power of branding, and aligning your brand with another brand. Um, it makes sense if people can understand how the two things correlate and they both look the same. And so I always felt that my mindset and the quality that I wanted to bring would look good next to other brands, and people would be able to see like, okay, this stands next to this. This makes sense. I need to rock with bro more.
Okay, that makes sense. So, when it comes to the music, like, talk about how your journey has been with being an artist and then how that led you into pursuing the grills because you collaborated and you're doing huge things over on the grill side. I want to know more about this movie that's coming out and this acting business.
So,
Like, talk a
so
little bit about that.
So the music led me to doing grills because I just been doing my own tours, doing my own shows in Atlanta for a long time. I started out pushing my own merch line called Cool Club, which is also my label. I got a few artists on my label, Elway, Sushi, Carly. Um, and so Cool Club became something that people would wear in the city of Atlanta. People pull up on me, get a shirt, get 2, 3 shirts, hoodies. People would wear it, and it became something that people knew. And I always gave people quality product. So I started doing my own tours. One of my homeboys invited me to the studio, and this guy wanted me to help him with his grill shop. I
Okay.
went by the grill shop, checked it out. I thought it was dope, but I really wasn't interested at first. And I ran into my homeboy at the strip club, and we chopped it up. He had just lost his job. He was a dental assistant. I asked him what he was going to do. He said he wanted to do grills, and then boom, I took him up to the same place I had just left, and we got started. And that's kind of how I got into it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so tell us about Paris because I seen the
Yeah.
story about Paris too, and I was like, I gotta ask about that because
Right.
I'm a huge, huge fan of hers. So talk
Mm,
about how that transpired.
no doubt. So at first, I had my story in Atlanta, on Keller Road, Decatur, actually, to be exact. For those who don't know, so that's on the east side where I grew up at. So when after my first year or so, I felt like I was doing well, and I had already been doing the traveling party in LA for a year,
Okay.
and we had been doing well at this traveling party. I may be doing like 25, 30 grills a night, at one party, and this was just starting out. So to me, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and so when I wanted to expand my business, the first place I looked was LA, where I had been going doing this traveling party at. It was called Lemon Pepper Wet. And
Okay.
so I opened up my next store on Melrose, across the street from Fairfax High School, 7811 Melrose. One day Issa Rae came in the store. I really didn't know who she was like that at the time. Um, and she wanted the grill. We got a dope, we got her molded up. We had to create the grill, but she needed it in a short period of time, and she was flying to France. She didn't tell us why. She didn't tell us what it was for. She was just like, I need it. And so we talked about shipping it. But during this time, this was like maybe the tail end of like the pandemic, you know.
Okay.
So like we were having problems with shipping, like, and customers, like we would ship things to customers, and then sometimes FedEx just wasn't getting it there on time. UPS either, and so the customer would be mad. So I was like, listen, I'm not even gonna take this chance with Issa Rae going out the country. This grill get lost somewhere, like, cause packages was getting lost, you know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I'm gonna fly this grill to her to make sure she got it. And so I did. And I didn't know all that stuff was gonna happen. You know, I didn't even know why I was going for it. I just wanted to make sure she got it and kind of hand deliver it to her. And it just turned into like a big thing, you know what I mean? We was on the boat and she had it was for her wedding. I met her friends and more people got grills while I was in France and
Yeah.
um, it was dope. It was dope.
That's love. Like everything that I've ever seen in the media about Issa has been how she's big on giving back, which is something very similar for you. So it was good that you two were able to connect and she was able to do for you what you do in the community so often. Like,
Fact.
talk a little bit about the community initiatives that you have going on so people understand what you give back to Atlanta on a consistent basis or the people around you because it goes bigger than just Atlanta.
Nah, for sure. I've done give backs for the homeless, you know, for years. In the city, I've been a part of Reading with Rory, which is a reading tour where we go to elementary school. I've been doing that for like 5 years. I've done give backs at South by Southwest. I gave away 100 books when I first got to my store on County Road. Donated to the football team, Fairfax High across the street from Melrose when I first got there, and just a bunch of other stuff. I just always give back in the community.
What makes you such a philanthropist? I hope I said that right because that's a tricky word.
Uh, um, I never, I guess, considered myself that, but I think that I just like to just, give back and show people that God is dope and that, he's real. He uses people to help other people. So that's
Yeah.
my whole point. Yeah.
Okay, so the name is Scotty Atl, and we've talked about a lot, but what we have not touched on is Atlanta. Like, talk a little bit about how influential the culture of Atlanta has been to you personally.
The culture of Atlanta is everything, to me. It's a big reason why I do what I do. I'm specifically from Lithonia, which is on the east side. There are tiers to Atlanta. So you got Metro Atlanta, you got downtown Atlanta, you got the outskirts. So Lithonia is, on the outskirts, you know what I'm saying? Like we right outside the 285, you know what I mean? But we on 20 East, you know what I mean? You can catch me on Panola Road or Evans Mill, you know what I mean? But I'm from the east side, but I stayed in East Atlanta for a minute. I stayed on Glenwood for a minute. I just love the city of Atlanta, the grind, the hustle. Um, People used to always say like, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And I feel like that's Atlanta now. Like if you can make it in Atlanta, you can make it anywhere.
Man, like, but it's the city of dreams for people because it's really the only place that you can go and connect with industry and business
Right.
minded people without having to go through gatekeepers or making it extremely difficult.
Mhm.
Like, the city itself is all about collaboration and they're open and welcome people in. Like, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and even though we're Music City, we've got Music Row here, a lot of these labels, you don't see that same type of energy or ability for people to come together for a common reason of being able to like push themselves forward. So I think it's super dope
That's real.
that Atlanta has that.
Yeah, nah, I appreciate it. It's a dope city, and I do think we have a lot of support in terms of breaking and just helping like culture and arts and entertainment in general.
Yeah. So, what's been one of like your all-time favorite moments? Like when you blew up and you became a celebrity where people are like Scotty ATL, Scotty ATL, you're hearing yourself on the radio. Like even now when you have all these people coming in and out of your business with grills, like I see pictures almost every day.
Right.
What would you say is like that highlight moment where it's like, man, it can't get no better than this?
I always like me and my homie was talking about this maybe yesterday. It's always like that, like it's stuff I'm working on right now. I can't really talk about that. I feel like it's like, man, when this happened, it's gonna be but it's been so many times, like, when we've done stuff with the Hawks, I was like, man, this is crazy. Being in the Hawks office, designing grills for like the NBA, being in the arena, like fitting, being like, that's crazy, in the gym, working on gold tee, what I'm saying, for an NBA rollout. That's crazy. We did stuff for the Falcons. The East Ray grill was crazy. Steve Harvey, like, it's just been so many moments. It's always felt like this the one. And I think the approach is to just keep that childlike faith, like never to feel like, oh, we made it, or we where we want to be. Like, I want to keep going until I can't no more.
Oh, I did not know that you made a grill for Steve Harvey. Like,
Well, Steve, I was on the Steve Harvey show, but
oh,
he
okay,
did not get a grill. He did not get a
okay.
grill. Yeah, I
Oh, it
tried
would
to
have
get
been
him. I
epic.
tried to do it. Yeah, he
That
wasn't
would have
going
been
for it. Yeah.
okay. So, talk about the lows though, because with every high comes some lows. So, what do you feel like has been that moment in this journey where you've been like, I don't know how to come back from this?
Mm. I feel like last year, just like losing a lot of homeboys, going through, like, people see like a lot of the glitz and glam, that goes on in business, but you don't get a lot of time to see behind the scenes stuff that goes on with like major corporations, whether it be like a Delta or Coca-Cola, a Marta, whoever. Stuff goes on behind the scenes that people are not privy to. So
Yeah,
like me being a business owner and being in the spotlight, at one point in time last year, I just felt down, depressed, like, man, can I keep going? You know, and I read books, so I read this book called The Magic of Thinking Big. The Magic of Thinking Big. And
really.
taught me a lot about controlling your thoughts, not just once a day or every 5 or every 10 minutes, but literally every single thought that goes through your mind. You gotta control it, if you want to elevate and be at the level you want to be on.
Man. So I'm a big reader.
Okay.
And if you ever get a chance, read the book Who Moved My Cheese. If
Oh,
you
I
haven't
read that for sure. I read that for sure. The white
like
book is
that's one of
white.
my favorites.
Yeah, I read that. One of my friends bought that book for me for a birthday present one time.
Yeah, like that's one of my go-tos. And I think it's been instrumental for me in my journey in the entertainment industry because you'll have those moments where you feel like everything is going right, everything is moving, it's good, your
Mhm.
team with you, and then something will kind of throw the rhythm off, and you got to make a decision like, do I stay here and try to get you to come with me, or do I have the faith to go forward? And trust the process and everything that's gonna come out through it. So I'm gonna put your book on my list too, so I can make sure
Oh
I
yeah,
dive into that because it sounds good.
definitely.
So from a musical standpoint,
Mhm.
like what are you doing right now? What songs do you have out? What are you pushing? What can the people expect? Like talk to us a little bit about that.
No doubt. So I've dropped a few songs since I went on tour at the end of last year. I went on the Show Your Grill tour. It's my own tour that I put together independently. We went to 15 cities in the South. It was our
Okay.
second tour. So I dropped a song called Major, which featured K Camp and CeeLo. After that, I dropped Party Started, which is dope, been going hard. Apologize, been doing a good on the streaming charts on iTunes. It was on the front of iTunes. Real good song about like my personal life. And then recently I dropped a song called Believe It with my boy King Shy. One time for King Shy. He in the cell right now, you know what I mean? But we still keeping it pushing for him. So, and tonight, actually at midnight, I drop another song called Do It Again, produced by Cassius J. So I just been really like, while I'm working, doing everything that I'm doing, I'm just making sure those who like fuck with my music, I'm keeping good music, good quality music going, keeping the videos, keeping the visuals going. You know what I'm saying? While I'm doing everything else, it ain't no slack going on. Yeah, believe
I
that.
was in the gym this morning and I was listening to all those tracks. Like, it was my first time hearing Major, and I heard
Yeah,
Apologize, and it was one other one, and I was like, oh, hold
come on
on.
now. You know what?
Like,
Folks ain't even really been tuned in like that on the music like they need to be, but I
yeah,
get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a lot, and I think I'm just taking a approach like, we talked about Country Wayne, and I watched one of the interviews he was doing, which helped me understand more into the streaming world, like the
yeah.
power of the continuation, or like being able to drop consistent, content that's quality too, though. So I've been on that, you know what I'm saying? From acting, the music, you know what I mean, grills content, like, yeah, build the whole platform.
I'm gonna take that one back. But talk about this Country Rain collaboration though. Like,
Man, it going down. So I've been on the current Country Wayne skits now for a couple months. I
okay,
play a guy named Scotty. But it's not like me, the actual Scotty. It's
okay,
it's a character. I'm in Ernestine's world, Ernestine and Jay. So Country Wayne got a lot of different people who have their own worlds, you know.
gotcha.
So Ernestine has her own thing. I'm on there. I played a guy that was in jail. I met Jay. We got out of jail, became friends. He got into some trouble. And then recently I helped him win the lottery and win $250,000. So I've been about 12 different episodes now. And we got some more stuff on the way. So it's going good. And that's like one of, I just really, to be honest, just started acting in December, but I've been in 5 different projects since then. So my goal is to do 10 this year.
So that's what I was just getting ready to ask you. Do you think that shooting videos help prepare you for being in these skits in a sense, since they're like mini videos in a way?
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't
I don't
think so?
think I know. No. I went to acting school when I was in LA. I stayed in LA for 2 years when I was building my Melrose store. So I
Okay,
went to acting school on Howard Fine acting class, and then December, a friend of mine, well, actually it was before December, asked me to be in this movie with some people. I pulled up, and Terry J. Vaughn was in the movie. Terry J. Vaughn played Lavita J. Jenkins or whatever. I can't, in Steve Harvey show. She was
yeah.
a secretary lady, yeah. So she was in the movie, and I did good. She kind of took me under her wing and just taught me a lot of things and encouraged me to keep going. She invited me to her acting class, and then after that movie comes out in December of this year. Then I got a short film after that I did with Tiana Melvina, Treasure P. And then in acting class, that's when I got turned on to the Country Wayne skits. And then now I'm doing the stage play that comes out. Well, we're doing the stage play next month, May 18th. And I'm doing a cartoon lead role now, a guy I'm playing in Orlando. So,
Oh, okay.
for sure.
Easy. Got your hands in everything. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Working.
give some advice to an up and coming artist, like someone that's fresh. They're still getting their name out there. They're still trying to figure out, how do I get this thing to pop off? Like, when you was at that phase, what were some of the things that you did for yourself that help you get where you are now?
Just be everywhere. Network with everybody. Just be a person of your word. I think one of the smallest things people can do is follow up with people. It's like so simple, but I do it every day. You know what I mean? Like, I hit people back if I meet people. No matter how big, no matter how small, I hit people back. I show love, and I think it goes a long way. Sometimes people get in the music industry and it's like this facade where you don't got to talk to nobody. You go in the room, you go to the concert, you just stand on the wall. Like, man, that don't work. You got to network with people. You got to get, and I ain't talking about the fake network neither though. The fake network, like you just came and you Instagram with people. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about I came and I met you. I know where you from. I know your name. I got your information. And then I actually hit you the next day about some shit we said we was gonna do. Like niggas say, oh, we should get in the studio. The next day, I definitely hit that nigga back. That's me. Oh, bro, you said we should get in the studio. And but then a lot of times people wouldn't keep their word, and it always gave me more power, you know what I'm saying, in the industry because I kept my word.
Yeah. That's don't get caught in the smoke and mirrors of it all. Like be the person that is about what you say you about.
Facts.
Show up when the opportunities come and be ready to work. Like don't be somebody that says you're about it and then when you're on that spot, you're like, I need a minute. I need some help. You
Yeah,
gotta chill.
facts.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
How influential do you think that the DJs play in really being able to break an artist or break a track?
I think the DJs play a big role. I think the game has definitely changed to what it was, 20 years from now. It's been a big topic, like where the DJ fit in the artist career. In my breakdown, I think that you got different tiers of this, right? You got some artists that don't play in the club.
Yeah.
Larry June, I fuck with Larry June music. I ain't never heard him in the club like that. You know what I'm saying? But he making money. You know what I'm saying? Like Currency. He might be playing in the New Orleans club, but when I go to the club at the A, they don't really play Currency like that.
Yeah.
But he making money. So these cats don't really need the DJ. But then you got other artists, Sexy Red. She play in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like cats like that. So it's a different game, but either way, like I look at it like this, since the beginning of time, the DJ been important, just in general. The DJ always been the ear to the music. The DJ always somebody that can help get your music into a crowd of people that can enjoy the music. And I think the important thing is just to always give respect where it's due. You know what I'm saying? Like I fuck with all the DJs. Whether they spin my music in the club or not, a lot have, a lot still do. Um, right now, I'm not necessarily focused on making club music, but I still show love to the DJ because at some point, who knows? I may want to make a club record. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna never rule that out either. But it's a different game. Just keeping it real.
So you touched on one other thing that I do want to talk about before I let you go, and that is like compared to when you began to where you're at now, how different is this industry?
It's different in a lot of ways. At one point when I first started, you just had to be good to just get a record deal. If you was dope and somebody could tell you could rap
Yeah.
real good, you can get a deal. You know what I'm saying? Now you could be the best rapper in the world, dog. If you don't know how to put this shit together and show someone that a lot of people are already rocking with you, then you might not be able to get a deal. You know, I don't really get mad at the game changing because I feel like you just supposed to change with the game. Those that don't know how to change with the game, you just get left behind. But that's always been what it is from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, you look at Bentley, you look at Mercedes, you look at Honda. You know what I'm saying? All these
Every
folks
year
been
you
playing
get a
that
new
game.
model.
Yeah, you gotta stay with the competition. So it's gonna continue to advance. And those who don't continue to, adapt to this shit, they're gonna get left behind.
That's it. So we can drop the mic right there. Scotty
Mm,
ATL.
let's go.
It's just as well like the Fleet Nation podcast, where we come in and we bring these industry tastemakers, the celebrities, the legends, the people that have been here that have built this platform well before we came, and they share their experiences, they share their advice, and then they also let you know what they are continuing doing right now. So if you need a grill, you ready to laugh, you want some good music, Scotty Atl got all of them for you. But
yeah,
you got
if you watching this, text me right now, 561-379-1961. Text me right now. Don't call me, text me. If you're trying to get a grill, hit me right now. 561-379-1961. Let go.
There you go. And until next time, episode 6, we are out of here, folks.
Let's get it.